A Cody group says the city planner manipulated the approval of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temple. Despite how it appeared, a pair of grizzlies may not have been stalking a group of hikers in Canada. And the Virginian Hotel has been a Wyoming icon for more than a century. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. A new filing in a lawsuit initiated by a Cody neighborhood group challenging a planned Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints temple alleges that the city planner, who's also a church member, manipulated its approval. Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson reports that the latest filing by the Preserve Our Cody Neighborhoods group shows that city planner Todd Stowell, who is a member of the church, acted with a bias toward assisting the church in its efforts to gain approval for the temple being considered by the board.
Basically, a huge trove of public records communications made between board members and city officials this summer in their consideration in the temple. And it shows that the board members were directly questioning city planner Todd Stowell's conflict of interest and the advice that he was giving them on the temple approval.
One text exchange between the donor of the land and LDS church member Glenn Nielsen and Stowell relayed an immediate job offer to Stowell if he were to cease to be employed at the city. The Wyoming Supreme Court last week ruled against 3 prison inmates who sued over being given a brand of COVID-19 vaccine they didn't consent to get, alleging a health official at the Wyoming Medium Correctional Institution in Torrington gave them the Janssen brand of COVID-19 vaccine rather than the Moderna or Pfizer they'd consented to. Chester Bird, Ryan Brown, and Richard Daig sued the state, the health official, and the prison warden. Days after the injections, Wyoming paused the rollout of the Janssen vaccines in response to reports of severe side effects, including blood clots and at least 1 death. But the Goshen County District Court ruled against the inmates, as did the federal U.S. District Court for Wyoming. And when the inmates appealed to a higher federal court, that court also rejected their argument. Well, it turns out that grizzlies, much like people or other critters, like to take the path of least resistance. A group of hikers in Canada witnessed this firsthand, although it didn't ease their minds at the moment, according to Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines.
Videos recently posted of these bears coming out of the brush and onto the trail. And of course, there's a group of maybe 10 people, tourists on the trail, and they were all freaking out and thinking the bears were trying to stalk them down and eat them.
Hines spoke with Wyoming bear experts who confirmed that bears, like us, are often just looking for the easiest way from point A to point B. So if you see a bear on a trail behind you, don't just jump to the conclusion that it's trying to hunt you down as fresh meat. I'll be back with more news right after this.
No one should go hungry on Thanksgiving, and yet hundreds of men, women, and children from our community are homeless and hurting this holiday season. Yet you can provide hope. Just $2.58 provides a hot meal and life-changing services at the Wyoming Rescue Mission, like safe, welcoming shelter, support, and long-term recovery to help them get back on their feet. Learn more and give online at wyomission.org. That's wyomission.org.
The University of Wyoming is prepared to spend $12,000 on a bottlenosed dolphin. Well, a skeleton, actually, which would be part of a new exhibit at the Geological Museum, highlighting the 2-billion-year history of Wyoming's prehistoric oceans and seas. Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi reports that the skeleton will be the first dolphin to be housed at the university.
The University of Wyoming Geological Museum is opening a new exhibit called Wyoming's Oceans, which covers 2.5 billion years of history when Wyoming was covered with oceans and seas. And to complete the exhibit, they want to acquire an 8-foot skeleton of a bottlenosed dolphin to tie the prehistoric past of Wyoming's oceans with the ongoing oceanic research that's happening at University of Wyoming.
And the Virginian Hotel in Medicine Bow is a Wyoming and Western icon that's been run by 4 generations of the same family for more than a century. Cowboy State Daily's Renee Jean reports that the Virginian is worth the trip to see the quaint hotel that once captured the imagination of the famous The Virginian author Owen Wister and remains a testament to Wyoming's Western roots.
The Virginian is very much the nerve center, the heart of Medicine Bow, and it was when it was built. The town got together and they all bought a share in the hotel to help the original owners finish it.
Open year-round, Jean said the historic hotel on the plains is still a beacon of light for weary travelers. And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.